How to get an unfair advantage as a man. In this video, I'm going to break down step by step how you guys can get an unfair advantage, whether it's getting in shape, making more money, dating life, or just fixing your mindset. And why 99% of people have these same goals, but they can't achieve it. The majority of the problems you guys are having right now is just like many others. It's just like myself. I wanted better for myself. I wanted, more women, more attractive women. I wanted to be in better shape. I wanted to make more money. I wanted to really get through my mindset barriers that I've been having over the course of, let's say, the last 25 years of my life, all my life at that point, you know? But what does the 99% of people do that's keeping holding them back? Think about it. You've been in a car, you're driving in traffic to your job, you're thinking about the life you want to have a year from now, and the life you want to have five years from now. You're thinking about the hot ass girl you with, the beautiful wife, your lovely kids. You're thinking about your mindset strong. You got fucking abs. You're making over 10K a month. That's the dream that most people have. They want to be able to live free. And most guys, they already have the money. The money is not really a problem for many of you guys. You guys have the money. But the way you're getting the money and how it's being used and your physique with the money, you're just not confident with the money. You're just not confident with what you're doing right now. And that's the problem. Because many times, a lot of people focus on the external over the internal. So many of you guys right now, you're playing the wrong game. You're playing the game of let me fix my outside view of life. Let me get more money. Let me get in better shape. Let me try to attract the baddest women in the world. You're trying to have all this right now, but the problem is your internal game is trash. Your internal ability is bad. Your internal beliefs, you don't believe it, so you won't get it. So you're thinking about making 20, 30, 40K a month, but does your inside stuff reflect that? You want to get six pack abs, but does your inside beliefs reflect that? Okay. And that's why I want to walk through this video, because this video, we're just touching the surface. But it all begins with having your internal beliefs in check, you know? Because think about it, external beliefs. This is the problem about trying to control things externally, trying to control the world. You have no control over the world. You don't have control over, the women coming to you every single day who you can attract. Oh, if you got your type every single day walking by you, yeah, you can probably get your type, of course. But that doesn't happen. If your boss said, hey, Johnny, how much do you want to make this month? And you just said, man, I want to make 20K. It's okay. If that was working, then you wouldn't have this problem. If you just looked in the mirror today and you said, man, I want to have six pack abs, and you just hit your stomach, you have six pack abs, you wouldn't need nothing. I would be out of business, you know? So the reason is externally, you have no control. But internally, that's where you hold all the control and all the power. So I want you to flip your mindset of thinking from externally, I want, to internally, I already have it. Right? Because once you believe you already have it, you'll stop overthinking. You'll stop trying to force things. You'll stop overthinking. That confidence that you lost will be brought back once you let go. Okay? So you'll stop overthinking and you'll be more consistent because you already believe you deserve it and you have it. So there's no such thing as not being consistent with something you already have, you know. Externally, you cannot be consistent because you want something so bad, but guess what? You do something for a day or two, you stop. You dream about doing certain things, but you don't put in action every single day. And that forces you to be not consistent, which forces you to give up, which forces you to feel bad and just, I'll just give up. You know, I remember when I started my first business, it was a drop shipping company. And I bought a course for like $500. And the course did work, but I didn't work. I didn't work on the business. I probably did it for like a week, spent like $50 or so, got the store running, but just left it. The problem wasn't the program. The problem wasn't the course. The problem wasn't the video. The problem was me. I wasn't consistent. because I didn't believe that I should have that yet. And many of you guys are in the same boat, which forced you to become undisciplined in many areas in your life. Because if you're undisciplined with your bad habits, your vices, you're smoking, you're drinking, you're still watching pornography while your wife's in the other room, that's undisciplined to yourself. And that same mindset goes to your fitness goals. You're 20, 30, 40 pounds overweight. You're over fucking weight. And you see how this thing it just keeps going in a circle. Because if you're undisciplined in one area of your life, it's going to go to the next area of your life. All right? And then when we fix that is we have to focus on the internal. We got to play the right game. We gotta focus less on external and focus more on internal. What can we control? All right? What habits and behaviors can we control in ourselves? Okay? So for many of you guys, the goal is simple. The goal is simple. All right? Freedom, power, peace of mind as a man. All we want to do is be able to wake up whatever time we want to wake up. We want to be able to have power, have control, be able to buy things, be able to people to look up to us, and to not have any problems, to have peace of mind, to not have to worry about being behind on bills, not having to worry about fucking getting a heart attack because we're overweight, not having to worry about diabetes or heart or fucking heartburn. We don't want to focus on any of that. We just want to have freedom, power, and peace of mind. All right. But there's no freedom, power, or peace of mind unless you believe you have that first. Unless internally you have that first. Because most guys on the outer side, they can seem successful. It's a lot of guys. It's a lot of guys on the outside world who seem successful, who feel successful, but internally they're fucking crushed. Internally they're fucked. Internally they're fucking drained because they don't have this. They might not have peace of mind. They might have two or three baby mothers running around. They might have to pay child support. They might have, people trying to ruin their lives. They might do people wrong in the past and it's come back to bite them in the ass. Then you got a person who feels powerful in the outside world. They think they're powerful. They feel like they can throw money around and throw their weight around. But internally, man, they still chained up because the internal power is gone for many different reasons. It could be the childhood thing they went through in the childhood. It could be something that just happened to them in the past that just happened to them. But they may seem or feel like they have power in the outside world, but internally it's holding them back, which is holding them back from getting to the next level. So that's why you see a lot of guys who are in powerful positions who are not in good shape. You see guys who are making all this money, but they're not in good shape. Because they have power in one area, but it doesn't translate to the next area. Just because you have power in your job doesn't mean you have power in your own life. That's why. All right. And last but not least, this is the big one that we all quickly went through before. I remember when I was like 20, 25. That's the last time I worked a job, and I personal trainer in my at a job. And one thing I lacked was freedom. I thought I had freedom, but one thing I lacked was freedom. And that was like what 5 years ago. Freedom is the biggest trap because people will think that they're free. People may say, "Okay, I make this money, or I get to work on my own time, or I get to do this. So I'm free." But true freedom doesn't wander. True freedom is still constructed and focused and locked in. One of the biggest tricks that jobs give you and gave me was, hey, you can make your own schedule. Hey, you can show up whenever you want to. Hey, you can work your own hours. You know, like because the biggest trap is having too much time. You know, the biggest trap is thinking you have so much time to do all this work. Well, guess what? Nothing ever gets done. I know many of you guys have been in a position where you had so much time. People think you can do your own schedule. You can make your own schedule. Even for guys who are entrepreneurs, you know how this works. You can wake up whenever you want to, go to bed whenever you want to, and 3 months later you're in the fucking red because you've been dicking off 3 months. I've been there before when I first started. It happened. You know. So the key is internal freedom, making life work on your terms. I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I don't have to, but I want to because I have freedom to do so. You also have freedom to wake up at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. You have freedom to do whatever you want to do, but internally, if you're not locked in, internally, if your goals don't align with your actions, then you'll just be, a slave to your own mind, a slave to your own impulses. a slave to your own behavior. Freedom is the biggest thing that we want to get. All right. So obviously, all three are many of what you guys want. Freedom, power, and peace of mind. All right. Next, let's move on to the struggles. Let's move on to a lot of things you guys may be struggling with right now. One of the biggest things you guys can be struggling with is like the start and stop method. You guys are starting something, stopping it, starting it, stopping it. You guys work out for a week, then you stop. You give them dating apps for a week, it doesn't work, you stop. You start your business for 2 weeks, a month, you don't make no money, you stop. This is the biggest trap you guys are in right now. Starting and stopping, right? Next, you're trying very, very, very hard. You're working 14, 12, 14 hours a day, working hard as fuck, only making 4K a month. It might be your job, might be your business, but you're working extremely hard every single day. You got everything locked in just to work hard. But guess what? You're not really getting nowhere. You're getting tired, you're spinning your wheels, and you still live paycheck to paycheck, you know? Because you could be a lot freer than you are now if you didn't work so hard. I'll show you why. Okay? Next is you're going through the same problems, same vices. All right. One of my vices, man, is beautiful women. I love beautiful women. And many of you guys are the same. You guys are older, probably. I'm guessing you guys are 30 plus. So many of you guys probably have a girlfriend or wife already. And of course, we have our girlfriends, we have our wives. But one of the biggest vices that we struggle with, but let's say before we got married or before we got our girlfriends, is beautiful women. Without dating, having our way, and doing this, doing that. But the biggest vice is having the same problem, being stuck in the same trap. You know, being stuck in the same trap of, oh, I like beautiful women, but why do guys cheat? They want that same thing over. They want that new same problem. Same thing with pornography. Why do people watch pornography? Cause it's familiar. Cause they get the same feeling of ejaculation, but it's new women all around. It's a thirst for new women. A thirst, a thirst, a thirst. That's why many guys are still married, still have girlfriends, and still juggling up the porn. And that's a whole nother topic. But that's why that's happening. It's the same problem. You guys have the same familiar problem over and over again, and you know it's time to let it go, but you haven't yet. It's a struggle. Okay. Next is this is gonna be a deep one. So next is fall asleep in dream state. All right. This means, and work with me here. This means you are still consciously asleep. Earlier in the video, I made an analogy of you driving in your car in traffic on the way to work. And normally, we're just on autopilot. We're going throughout our day on autopilot. We get up in the morning, let's say you got 8, 9 a.m. in the morning, getting up, brush your teeth, get ready. The same formula every fucking day. Nothing's different. The same people every day. The same formula, the same route. Everything's the same. So for over the past, let's say you had the job for 5, 6 years or so 10 years. Let's say you had that same job, you took the same route, lived in the same place, the same shit, the same. Everything is the same. It's too familiar, which pretty much puts you in a conscious coma. You guys are living in a conscious coma right now that you can't get out of, and you aren't aware of that. And I'm gonna break that down next. Why it's so important. But you guys aren't aware that you guys are in a constant coma. You go to the same food places. You're doing the same activities. You're doing the same vices. It's a familiar trap. You guys are literally living in a dream state because many decisions you guys are making every single day, they're not your own decisions. They're decisions that have been programmed to you by different outlet sources, social media, videos or whatever. They're feeding you information. They're feeding you impulses for you to push you one way. All right, and I'm gonna get really deeper in this in the videos to come. But you guys aren't making constant choices. You guys are steady in a dream state. Okay, low energy and low time, and this revolves around dream state and falling asleep. Because you can't wake up out of this dream state if you have no energy. You can't wake up out of this dream state if you're 20, 30 pounds overweight. You can't wake up out of this dream state if you're still beating meet the pornography or meet the women if you still have a family or a girlfriend or kids to take care of. There's no way. You can't get out that dream state. You can't get out that dream state. You know, so right now, many of you guys probably have think, oh, I have no time to do something. I have no time to build my business. I have no time to work on my job and fucking build my business and fucking work out. and do this. You gotta make excuses, you know. And with low time comes low energy, you know. And low energy comes from the food you put in your body. So you're putting bullshit foods in your body, processed carbs, processed sugars, alcohol, even watching social media, putting that in your body, putting a toxic content in your body is ruining your energy as well. All right, but that's a whole deeper topic that we can cover in many different videos. Okay, this is a kickoff. All right, so let's get into the solution. Okay, let's solve these problems. 'Cause I've been through it. Many of my clients have been through it. Let's walk down the 5-step solution. All right. So number one, you need to be aware. All right. Right now, you gotta wake up and say, I am in a fucking dream state. Life is going away, but I don't want it to go that way. But I want to change it. How am I going to change it? You must be aware of what you're doing every single day. You must be aware of what's going on around you, what's going on in your life. What are your impulses? What's your vices? What's your strengths? What's your weaknesses? How much money are you making? How much money do you make a day? How much money do you make a week? You should be knowing everything evolving around your life because it's your life. I don't know how many times I ask somebody, you know, oh, how many calories did you eat today? Or what meal did you have yesterday? Or how much money did you make last month? Or to the cent. And many guys can't tell me that because they're in a dream state. They're just working a job, getting money, getting paid, spending it. They're eating food, not tracking it, done. So we must be aware of what we're doing. We must be aware of how much money we're spending. We must be aware of what we're eating, must be aware of how we show up and how we look when we go outside into the real world. So first is we must have awareness. We must first be aware of our situation and why it's trash right now and why we want to change it. Okay? Next, energy. We need to boost our energy because energy is the most important thing we need as a man. Testosterone, sexual energy, all that energy we need it. It's important to get us through the day. Um, the book Outwit the Devil, Napoleon Hill. I think it was Napoleon Hill, Outwit the Devil. Read that book if you guys haven't read it yet. Right? Very, very important. In that book, he talks about sexual transmutation. So if you guys are jerking off the porn when your girlfriend is fucking washing dishes or cooking for you and you're jerking off the porn real quick, or your girlfriend falls asleep early, or she's not giving you none because you're mad that because she's mad at you that day, and you fucking go to the bathroom and jerk off the porn, this is gonna waste your energy. This is gonna drain your energy. Alright? Social media in the morning is gonna drain your energy. Eating fast food, eating bullshit food is gonna drain your fucking energy. So one thing we gotta do is say, okay, what is draining my energy right now? And sometimes it may be your girlfriend or your wife that's draining energy. If we really want to talk about it, that could be energy draining too. But we're gonna focus on you. We're gonna focus on you. So we gotta say, okay, what am I doing that's draining my energy? What can I fix right now? Is it the food I'm eating? Is it what I'm watching? Is it the things I'm not doing? Am I not drinking enough water? Am I drinking too much soda? Am I drinking alcohol? What is draining my energy? Right? And once you find that out, this is gonna be a bigger boost. Once you become aware of what's draining energy, that's when you start making changes. That's when that's when it gets fun. Because when you can become aware of what's draining your energy and how to fix it, that's when the game begins. Okay? Next is coordination. Right? Coordination. So how can we put all these pieces together? How can we stop getting on social media in the morning, and how can we start waking up earlier? How can we get more water in? And how can we be more physically active? And how can we be more attractive? Like, so we gotta put all this stuff together. Now we gotta put all this stuff together. So at the same time, we gotta kill some vices, kill some bad habits, and gain some good habits and build some good habits. And the easiest way to do this, and this is a book I read, Atomic Habits, you have to pretty much start habit tracking. I mean, sorry, habit stacking. All right, so you got to stack habits on top of each other. So if I wanna get more physical active, more in shape, but I wanna add water to it, but I wanna stay off my phone in the morning. What I'll do is I will buy an alarm clock. So I would turn my phone off at like 8 or 9 p.m. and I will buy an alarm clock. So I will buy an alarm clock. It will sleep at 5 a.m. Okay, boom. So no phone in the morning. Perfect. I got something to wake me up in the morning on my alarm. All right, boom. If I got my alarm clock, but I still want to get better, I want to get in better shape, but I might not have time. What can I do? Well, I can fucking go downstairs or go in your room or whatever, go outside. I can do 100 push-ups, right? In the morning, first thing in the morning. Don't do nothing else. 100 push-ups. And right there, you have built the habit of, physical activity, and you lowered the habit of social media in the morning. Just that fast with that fix. All right, and that's just one example. I have many, 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 many more examples we can go through. But that's just one simple example of just how can we raise the energy up and be more physically active while bringing down our social media time, or bringing down the social media morning time, right? So you gotta use your habits like that. You gotta coordinate them together to where you can knock off the bad habits and boost the good habits. All right. Next is balance. All right, this is important. And this goes from, oh, I'm working so fucking hard, I'm locked in, I'm working, I'm working, I'm working, I'm working, I'm working, I'm working. You're working yourself to fucking death. Because everybody needs balance. And one of the best balance techniques I've learned is, let's say you're working hard, you're locked in grind mode, in month mode. I would give it 3 months. Let's say you're in month mode straight for 3 months. You should at least have 1 month out of that, after that 3 months. After those 3 months, that 1 month after that should be more of a relaxation period. More of a I'm a kind of go out, spend some time, enjoy my life, and regroup and refocus. Many of you guys aren't scheduling out your life out like that. Most of you guys have been working the same job for 8 years and haven't got a rest, haven't got a vacation, haven't got really a fucking courtesy call or anything. Your job doesn't care about you, but it's okay because we can control that. All we can control is internally. What can we do? Can we, let's say, have more time to enjoy ourselves? Can we pick up a new hobby to let off some stress? What can we do? And this is why I always recommend guys to do some physical activity at least 4 to 5 times a week. Even during weekends you can do things too. But this will keep your mind and body in balance on a short term level. So in the short term level, let's say you can't take off or can't do this, you can do different activities during the week that will keep your life balanced, your internal life balanced. Because if you're just working over and over and over and over and over again, eventually your internal life is going to break down and you're going to crash. You're going to go back to these bad habits. You're going to go back to these bad habits that's the things that make you comfortable. You're going to go back to those things, right? But we want to have balance so we can work hard, hit our goals, and still enjoy our life. Very, very important, right? And last but not least is intention. This is the most important, but it's the most difficult because every single day we have a voice in our head that tells us that everything is going to be okay. You can stay in bed. You don't have to work as hard today. You can rest for today. Yeah, let's watch social media. Let's just watch a movie. You're going to have that voice in your head that's going to give you bad intentions. All right. And it's not your fault because these intentions that came from the external world. Right? Social media. A lot of the content you guys are watching these days. What's in the food. Things like this is ruining your attention for you to take your foot off the gas. Like we noticed, we need balance. So we can figure out what type of intention you want to go into every single day before the day even starts. So the night before, we would go into, okay, is this a week this week where we're locked in, focused, working, and just are we locked in, or is this a week where we can have some flexibility, we can kind of do what we want to do and just relax. You guys want to go into every single day, every single week, every single month with intention. All right, on what we can control. Because once you guys have intention of what you guys are doing, you guys will stop moving forward. Once you guys stop living in a dream state, you guys will stop having the same problem. You guys will stop, going through the same vices that make you feel comfortable. You guys will stop doing these bad habits that keep you in the same spot. Because guess what? Now you're moving with intention. You have a purpose. You have intention. You have a goal you're running toward. And you can only do that if you do these 5 things. All right. Awareness. First, you must be aware of where you are now, aware of the change you gotta make, aware of where you want to go, and we gotta do awareness to energy. So now we need more energy. So we got to be aware of we need more energy. So that means the food you eat, the social media you consume, the things you're not doing good, the alcohol, the smoking, the pornography, the things that bring energy, we cut it out. Okay. Coordination. So we're gonna make sure we're gonna put our bad habits together, throw them away, and good habits together and raise them up. All right. And you can put the good habits with the bad habits, and your bad habits will go down, and good habits will increase. All right. It's like that push-up example I gave you, guys. Right. And you guys must have balance, internal balance. So you must balance the internal world with the external world. Right. Your internal beliefs with the external results you're getting. So you gotta balance that. And last but not least, you gotta have intention. You gotta have intention behind every day, every movement you guys are doing every single day. Because if you're not, you're gonna fall asleep again, and you're gonna be back in the dream state. All right, back in the dream state. Now this is something new I'm dropping for you guys, but I wanna show you guys that I'm doing something new. I'm doing a quick a call for many guys who want to level up their fitness and mindset in this formula just like this, but it's gonna be way more in detail. All right. So if you guys, want to jump on a call or want to get like a quick roadmap session and see where you guys are now and where you guys are headed, let's say you need help in between, I can help you guys out in any way possible. All right. As long as it's like physique and mindset driven. All right. So if you guys are interested in that, you guys can book a call down below, it'll be in the description, and you can, we can talk about where you are now, how we can get to that next level, and what you guys do. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get it. Let's go.